104.5 The Team live on Radio Row, and the coolest of the coolest are walking through here now. We're done with the fluff. We're getting to the slash. Kordell Stewart sits down across from me. Kordell, you had a very unique situation in the NFL. You were something we hadn't seen before. You were slash. You were quarterback. You were a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't understand you, so they tried to tear you apart. Can you kind of draw a correlation to what you lived through and what Cam Newton's going through right now?
Well, Cam Newton is kind of reaping the benefits for all the hard work, and all in a positive way, because it's like anything else. Once things start evolving, naturally happens the next guy in line, it's a little easier.
Right.
The thing with me was when I came in the National Football League, even at the Combine, I was asked would I play other positions. And I say yes because I wanted to get in. I didn't want to say no,
right.
Because at that time, playing safety would have been easy. Playing wide receiver would have been easy, as we saw in the National Football League when I played the slash role. Running back would have been fun. I mean, whatever I could have done from a skill position standpoint, I wasn't lacking in no department just because of how I was raised, where I come from in New Orleans. That's how we play.
Right.
We play every sport, and we're good at everything. So once I got in and I saw the injuries taking place on the team, I had the opportunity to play wide receiver. The rest was history. The slash was born. So when it was time to be the quarterback of the team in '97, and I competed for the job, while I won the job, the media never really embraced it.
Right.
The city 100% didn't really embrace it. They wanted to see if it could work or not. It was something different that the Steelers organization has ever seen or had. I don't think there's a player in the history of the game that played wide receiver full-time, was a quarterback, was very successful at it, then played quarterback and went to the Pro Bowl.
Right. I don't think so.
Never.
Right.
And so when you think of Cam Newton's situation, he was the number one pick overall.
Right.
To the Richardson family out there in Charlotte for the Carolina Panthers. So his story, while yes, people aren't necessarily embracing everything he does, I think they're embracing how well he's played because rightfully so. He's had a stellar season with, as everyone has mentioned, not necessarily household name wide receivers on the outside. I mean, we can go down the list. Greg Olsen, solid tight end, very good tight end, basically with what they're doing. Ted Ginn Jr. And so as you look at everything that's happened there, losing D'Angelo Williams, going over to Pittsburgh, and only having Jonathan Stewart, who's been pretty much healthy all year long, you see a community that has embraced the style.
Yeah.
And they're doing it by committee. And what they're asking them to doing is fitting the bill of their personnel. They're not asking them to be, the greatest show on turf as it was back in the day with the St. Louis Rams and throwing the ball downfield. We dink and dunk you. We pound you, like they say, #keep pounding. And they're getting it done. And their defense, from a feast of famine standpoint, when it comes to getting the football on defense, they have the most points in the National Football League. So they have a knack for getting the football and scoring touchdowns. So I think their chemistry and everything that have taken place when it comes to Cam and what he is already capable of doing. I mean, he falls forward, it's a first down, pretty much, right? So, again, they're playing great, but most importantly for him, he doesn't have to worry about those issues. This day and age of quarterback, don't have to worry about that. Yes, Steve McNair was drafted number 1 overall. Then it was Kerry Collins. Then it was Todd Collins. And then it was myself, 4th quarterback taken in the draft in 1995. So it was kind of moving and shaking because there was an organization with the Houston Oilers that had a Warren Moon. So they can identify that style of quarterback that was strong, big arm coming from Elkhorn State. Well, myself was a little different, I went to Pittsburgh where it was a vanilla position. They didn't ask him to do much. Basically what they said is don't screw it up.
Right, game manager.
Game manager.
Yep.
Well, my style wasn't game managing.
No.
My style was making it happen, make it work.
Big plays.
Big plays, big plays. And so, sometimes I got ridiculed for it, unjustly, I would say. Even in the city, sometimes with my coaches, going to the bench for Tommy Maddox, going to the bench for Kent Graham, going to the bench for Mike Tomczak. Now, you tell me today, were those guys good enough to play in the game to win, regardless of how much they studied? Because if they want to say the reason I went to the bench is because I didn't study, well, those guys studied very hard.
Right.
They didn't win.
Right. Well, I mean, Maddox was the XFL MVP. I mean,
How did that work when he came back to Pittsburgh?
No.
Not well at all, right? So, my thing is it wasn't – I think it was more or less the lack of trust because of all the things I could do.
Right.
How do you best talk about a good game that I've had when all you remember in the back of your mind is me having one-handed catches against Burton Hanks for the San Francisco 49ers in the game in Pittsburgh to Blaine Bishop catching one hand catches in the back of that end zone when we played against when he was with the Houston Oilers. So how do you say, okay, great pass. Guy needs to catch the ball a little better. Ball was right there. You'll say great throw. I think if he throws the ball a little bit further out front, maybe he'd catch the ball a little easier. So that's how the angle was when I was playing. But to see it evolve the way it has now, it's wonderful. I have a book, actually, autobiography come out called Truth.
Nice.
It's on Amazon right now. Pre-orders are in place. They come out probably somewhere like March 4th, March 5th.
Nice.
And so I'll talk about everything in its totality. We don't have enough time to do that now because we have other things to talk about. But, I have the opportunity to tell my story on a big scale and going straight into it and talking in depth about what we just talked about.
We are here at live at Radio Row, 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports, but we're being taken over by the man who took over Pittsburgh. Kordell Stewart is here with us, and we're going to talk a little Super Bowl.
Yeah, who you got winning the game?
Who-wee.
You played in Colorado, so you going with the Broncos?
Well, I'm a big Broncos fan by default because I did go to University of Colorado, and I'm not into congratulatory wins or guys going off in history. I'm about the game itself, and if you deserve to win, great for you. So being my style was very similar to Cam, and the defense, the way they played was similar to what we had in Pittsburgh. The running game was not Jerome Bettis, but similar in the sense of physicality, and the offensive line just being, the key pounders of the world.
Yeah.
As they say, keep pounding, hashtag keep pounding. I think as a team, I love the Carolina Panthers better because I think the balance overall is very complementary with how they play against one another. So as of right now today, I love the Denver Broncos and John Elway and Alfred Williams who played for him. He's my great buddy who played there and went to University of Colorado. But I'm liking what I see in Carolina.
Kordell Stewart joins us, and you mentioned some of your big plays in the NFL. I'm going to be honest with you. Growing up, somehow I became a University of Michigan fan. Miracle in Michigan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, but I remember that game. I don't think anyone cursed you more than I did when that play went down. And
I cursed a lot running down there because I couldn't believe it, but it wasn't at myself. It was like at the moment. Like, what the bleep happened? Oh, my bleep goodness. I'm helping you back in the studios with the bleeping.
Yeah.
But,
that's because he knows you're a Steelers fan.
Right, my man. Yeah, so, oh, man, that play will forever be remembered. And
it's one of the all-time great plays.
Yeah, and the thing was, I was kind of doing the slash thing back then, so to speak, running the option, but not the wildcat, throwing bombs, throwing them short, outrunning defenders. It was fun back then, too. So that was a great game and a great moment.
Because the game has evolved so much and a quarterback like yourself is a lot more accepted now, how good would you be in this day and age?
I would say as good as I was then, if I bring that in today's game, just how I played it then, into today's game, I would be great because I didn't have to run a veer option.
Right.
Like Cam has done, like Colin Kaepernick has done. Russell Wilson hadn't done it as much. Of course, Donovan McNabb didn't do it. RG3 done it a lot. Right. Colin Kaepernick did it a bunch. Warren Moon and so on and so forth. I think my game would really be accepted, and my game was pretty diverse, man. Similar to the group that I'm with right now, and that's TuneIn.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about it. Kordell Stewart joins us, 104.5 The Team. TuneIn, you have your own radio station?
The name of my show is No Huddle, and it's on TuneIn, and it allows fans to be able to have access to any one of their teams all year round, whether it be dealing with the combine, whether it be dealing with workouts, as in OTAs. It allows you to have 24/7 access when it comes to keeping up with your prospective team. But most importantly, the app is for free.
Kordell Stewart, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you much, man. Thank you much.